Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all of you, wherever you there at the moment. This is Mohammed Shilon coming to you now. Uh, and as usual, I get a co-host, Ms. Fadima Savage, who is not right here at the moment, but she'll be joining us anytime now. But today, as usual, I can get some numbers then where I can announce or call for Leone go call just in case una somebody need to make a comment or for call or for ask questions. So I'm going to call their numbers and they pretty soon. As a matter of fact, let me call them right now. As a matter, we have several numbers. Start off with the toll-free number. It's 1-866-944-7722. 1-866-944-7722. That's generally the toll-free number. We'll get a number if you call from the United Kingdom. It will be plus 44 20 80 89 1455. Plus 45, plus 44, I'm sorry. 20 80 89 1455. That is calling from the United Kingdom. If you call from Australia, it will be plus 61 29 09 84 337. Again, if you're calling from Australia, it will be plus 61 29 09 84 337. And last but not least, if you're calling on WhatsApp, you call the numbers will be 1-343-997-5828. 1-343-997-5828. And the topic for today will be, of course, the recent event, the protests will take place at Freetown on Salone this week. And so it's a general topic. Then, of course, under that general topic day, we'll get a lot of subtopics where we'll collect people in for call on, and then we'll get people in your view. We'll get things like, was the protest justified? I mean, was it a justifiable protest? Was there any legitimate basis for the protest itself to take place or to have taken place? Two, were there other ways the people could have expressed their discontentment? Besides the protest, the people began any other effective way where they were able to express then dissatisfaction and for the government for hearing them, or this was the most effective way for them? And then number three, we want to know the government in reaction to the protest. They had the proper reaction nowadays, or they could have reacted in a different way, just like other people could have protested in a different way, or could have registered their dissatisfaction in a different way other than the protest. And so call and give you your reason. So then who do you blame? Now the government alone for blame the cause of the strike or the protest, or you go blame civilians. Why I say government now, when they talk about all the entities that were there on the government, army, police, all and the politicians, ministers, who classify them all under government. And then, of course, all the civilians are to be blamed for all the destruction of lives and property will take place. Because we know, say, government did destroy some properties too, and so did ordinary people. Because videos of police officers breaking down people, then market stalls them, so then we want to know, and then we'll talk about, okay, now that it's all over, things seem calm. Watching at the steps, besides abusing power, where government and the people for take, and the protest leaders and for take in the future. So made and tell we're watching at the steps. Then those are the things we will discuss today, just for make sure, say, everybody gets access to voicing out their position. And two, the other thing is we want to make sure, say, we are hoping, as a matter of fact, that the power to be, meaning the government, they listen to some of the comments the way they come from various Salonians them. And in fact, some of them go even, I just realized again, say, there are some blames, they blame diasporas, they meaning people in where they are abroad. People in abroad say they get the blame because now they instigate that. So how would I feel about that? Because of the concern and the importance of the issue, we go open the lines, the phone lines as soon, in fact, right now, as soon as we start for talk. If you get something where you want to contribute, please call in. So we will listen to you and then see how we go analyze the question. Now, remember the rules of engagement in this network is very simple. We respect everybody's idea, and we respect everybody we call. We presume, say, you call because you get concern, you get something for contribute, you get ideas. Then we say, I say something, I talk about ideas for help, for make Salone a better place. And so as long as, and no attack, when I say attack, you can disagree with a former caller or with a caller, but not to for attack the character of that person that we call. So as long as we respectfully disagree with ourselves, because there is no way we will agree with each other all the time. So there will be differences of opinion. As long as we try for project disagreement in a respectful manner, I think all will be well and good. So we just want to make people understand the ground rules. The rule is mutual respect, and for the callers and the host, and everything, I hope will go smoothly. So what we do now for make sure, say, first of all, I want to start off with, again, I don't explain to you for say, the lines will be open as soon as, almost as now, okay? Because there may be plenty for talk about. So, but I want to make we start off, we may get one or two videos then for play. A lot of we don't see all videos them, a lot of videos from different parts of the country or different parts of Freetown. So we just want for play them video then there. Now, other hearing at the BBC, because before and some other news outlets, for say the protests, now it was mostly in the western area, but we don't say that would be misleading, because I did see video showing protests in Bo. I see videos showing protests in Kenema. I see video showing protests in Bombali district or the north. So even though the protest was not as widespread as the western area or Freetown in particular, it took place almost in every province. Kenema, there was a protest there along the same line. We're at the capital of the eastern province, so to speak. Bo, it took place there. There were protests when at the capital for the southern province, and Makeni or Bombali district, and I mean just to say the capital. I mean, I'm just me on view about calling them places at the capital. For the north, Bombali district. So this is not official. This is just my own classification of the various places that were just named. So please, I want to make we start off with a video by a deputy minister by the name of Solomon Jamiru, and let us see how people feel about that. What you can get for say we get a question about whether Mr. Jamiru in video was a good one was in the interest of the country, or was just a bad video, so to speak. So some of una go to area, some of una no area. And some people don't area. I read some people and say, then condemn Mr. Jamiru for that. Then say he should not have talked in those terms. Reconciliation, reconciliatory terms. If for be so firm and accusatory, so to speak, or accuse people. I can try for a little avoid too much English words, but sometimes it's hard for do. But some people then say coming out and stating, making an apology, I say an indication of weakness. But some other people then they will see him as an indication of strength, the ability to face reality and to deal with it head on. So we want for get to know your opinion about what you want to think. But there are a lot of questions we will raise as we go along. So let's start with Mr. Jamiru you first.
Fambul Onwadu, me na Solomon Jamiru. As I trust God say we all safe and sound this evening, I decide to reach out with this short audio. We don't get a dramatic turn of events in the last 13 or so hours. We don't see videos were very disturbing. We don't lost precious lives on the part of the security sector and on the part of civilians. And I think say we all they grieve. And all this they happen 20 years after the war. Them precious lives we don't lost. May their souls rest in perfect peace. In my honest opinion, I not think say what happen because of failure of the security sector. Me think say a lot of what don't happen now because a very critical space perhaps may have been mortgaged. A very key and critical space where a coalition of well-meaning voices and efforts for occupying. And also, I think say whilst we for appreciate the security forces in the sense that they not want for the maintain that kind of posture anytime they go out, as if it is the security sector versus the people. I think they're always not inclined for take that kind of posture. And I also believe that President Bio is fully alert to his responsibilities. So I think for the one them way they make a proposition, say President Bio for act tougher, or the security sector for go out there and be tough on the people, I don't think that is the way to go in addressing our issues in Sierra Leone. Me think say, waiting for be the proposition, now for build up, a coalition of well-meaning efforts and voices within and outside government for take that space and help government for resolve then key and critical issues within and outside government. Could be eminent men and women, could be religious leaders, political leaders. And even if we think so we are having a faceless group where they sponsor a lot of these things where they happen, I think so for begin to think about what could be done for mainstream some of their key and critical interest groups and just hear and get to know what the real deal is. So I think my own take on all of this, one, we know for the push, say President Bio should act tough and put on in quote as a general. No, let President Bio be President Bio. He's constitutionally elected. Let him be President Bio. Let the security sector continue for do, and pursue in mandate, and we encourage them for continue for be professional. Thirdly, make we encourage this key and critical space for be occupied by well-meaning efforts, build that kind consensus, build that kind coalition within and outside of government. And the fourth one, which is the most important one, I believe say we for always pray, because those who fight on their knees will always have victory in the spirit. I think a lot of what in the happen so na Salone require a lot of wisdom for me to address them, and God will provide that wisdom. God bless we all. Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I hear Mr. Jamiru in speech, I get a personal opinion, but if you not get any opinion during my own analysis of what you say, feel free for call in so we can talk about that. Personally, and as a Sierra Leonean, we care about Sierra Leone in general and consider every Sierra Leonean my brother and sister, and think we should all be with brother's keeper. I see absolutely nothing wrong with that speech day. Anybody who finds problem with that speech day need for tell me in your own basis, because we all not get for agree or see thing one way. But I could not think of a better conciliatory or speech for bring about peace, for bring about calm, for bring about understanding. I couldn't think of a better speech than that. A try for include very carefully, because now I'm for give the impression say it blame dirty forces, but it clearly indicates that the problem spread around, that the security forces, by implication, not say so expressly, but by implication, even till we say the security forces, by implication, not expressly, get a bad name. That every time they show up, then they invoke excitement on the part of the people, resistance on the part of the people, challenge, opposition on the part of the people, because when the security forces, the image would not build for themselves. Now, this thing about being unreasonable, being abusive, being physical, and what we call back home na Salone, bing bing, Timiniman say, bagbati, toughness. So there are certain people where that not to work with, and it seems like you get a large group of people. So when the security forces they appear, their appearance alone they create problem. It does they invoke that resistant in the minds of people for say, well, we will stand up to them. Now bear in mind, now I'm not saying the minister expressed to say that, but he get a reason why he mentioned the security forces. And I think a good leader, you get for face reality. You can't be talking to the people as if they're stupid. People can analyze things themselves. So there are certain things, it reminds me, I'm a lawyer and I'm a trial lawyer, and I think I was a good one. When you want get the trust of a jury, you need to go for get an impression, say you want to pull a fast one over them, or you pull a wool over their face or the eyes. You go in and admit if you represent somebody when a bad person, you admit the person in character. Right up front. Say, oh, I know they say this now angel I represent. My clients don't do A, B, C, D in a life. Then when you lay that premise there, then you begin to explain why in this instant, this your client will get a bad name there. Not they at fault. People are going to listen because you come across as trying to be objective and be fair. So I think Mr. Jamiru is a much younger lawyer than I am. I don't know how many cases he may have tried in his lifetime, but I know I look as a very young man. And I also know that not a single lawyer in Sierra Leone has tried as many cases as I have in a sophisticated country like this. So I know what are the chalkboard. So in that sense, I think Mr. Jamiru touched on all the things. He mentioned the security forces. He talked about the civilians. He talked about the misfortune of people being hurt on both sides. So these are issues we will address, and these are issues we will carefully analyze, and these are issues we will fairly analyze, and these are issues where we will try our best for take away this party hat and stop the blaming game. And then we must take a look at how it happened and whether the president was effective in handling the problem or whether he was not. I have always taken the position when I look at President Bill, first of all, we need to get certain things clear. He is the duly elected president of Sierra Leone. And the only way for pulling a power now within the confines of the law, or under the rule of law, no other way. Any kind of suggestion by anybody who thinks any other means has to be used, then you know to respect the Constitution, you know to respect the rule of law. He is the duly elected president of the country, and that we have to give it to him and his government. Okay, so waiting me to try for people and for understand. If we want for point fingers, let us make sure say everybody gets a little blame for share. But we don't see a situation where then they accuse. Everybody does say accuse, or a lot of people don't say accuse. Accuse the mayor of Freetown without any basis, and then accuse diasporas, them people away there overseas, say they're responsible without any evidence, and accuse the opposition without any evidence. So all of that not going to help the country. What will help the country now for let we get cool minds for prevail, for try for think of certain things, and make people know say, what are they overseas or what are they in a Salone? I no one for things say anybody really had in mind to instigate violence. Now, we may disagree as to how people went about it, but I don't think the intention was to instigate violence, because violence is counterproductive. It solves nothing. And I wish I get a very long letter, let some people and see wisdom, naina the key for solve problem, not to toughness. I get one write-up by Dr. Julius Spencer entitled What Pa Kaba Taught Me, Pa Kaba meaning the late President Kaba. And when you read this article, it tells how it came about that President Kaba was able to get the confidence, of the rebel leaders then, for work with them, for bring about calm in the country. Because you get for be level-headed or cool-headed, and you get for proceed with caution. Take into account everybody gets something for say. So this letter I would like to share with people then. Many just see our President Kaba meticulously, against all odds. When your cabinet themselves get too much opposition, say, now talk to Fodesanko, now talk to the other military guy. Kaba keeps saying, no, that's not the way to go. And we hear the same thing now. A lot of people and they say, be tough. President Bill, you're not be a man. But he's not a soldier anymore. He's a retired soldier. He's like the rest of us. So if we think like the rest of us, when you're in the army the run government, then the issue decrease. They not care how people feel and just want to get things done. But that's not the situation he finds himself. He finds himself in a situation where he has to respect the law. He has to respect the Constitution. And in so doing, he cannot come with military toughness and show say in be I'm a man, therefore, I will order people them. He's in no position to order anybody passing cabinet members. But the rest of us who know the work for her, it can't order. We. So people get to understand how government work. So when Jamiru come, he talk about a well-meaning people them and how we need for hang heads together and try for come up with ideas. That to me is the proper way to go. All right. It is not the proper way for go for begin say, well, you get power, so you get for use them, and there is no way you go use them without abusing them. You know, there's no way. If you not use them the proper way within the confines of the law. So I have no problem with the president handling things that way. What I have problem with the president is in constant or frequent silence of major events will get adverse effect on the country. Why does he keep quiet? Well, for instance, when you're not the president, and I'm not trying to teach the president how to run in country, he's the president. But I go use even the rule within a household or in a corporation or in an organization. When you get rumor all around the place, say your police chief is engaged in criminal conduct, that should not be treated lightly and just ignore the idea that then they say some policeman and say the chief is promoting criminality. I think the president should be concerned because that's not the reputation you want for your government or for your police. Why not summon your police chief right away and say, what are all these rumors I'm hearing? Drug trafficking, taking people property we're not to you, getting a group where they go take advantage of people, issuing decrees where the law not give you the power, parliament not give you the power there, arresting people then because they protest, they can't do them woman them. Why is the president letting that happen just because the police chief says so? Or even what might even appear to be harassment of opposition. Appear now. I'm being very careful with my language. Because they make statement where the constitution allow, but the statement is it's not a favorable statement to the president or the party in power. What has the police chief got to do with that? Why can't you just leave people to operate within the frame of the constitution? As police chief, your job is to enforce the law. And there are so many things that are happening that could keep you people busy. Why be political? So that trust, I blame the president. It make things get out of hand. And this help also for create tension because then police then forget what in their job. And the police chief begin for things say in at the main man, he was the law. Okay. So now that lead to this tension. So people were in no mood for the listen to the police chief when they come or the police. So these are some of the things we for begin for look back at. And let me interpret Mr. Jamiru in speech as them nuances there or then think then that will for the look at and begin for say maybe we approach wrong. That doesn't mean government should be timid. I don't support the idea about government being timid because if you get a timid government where the population is in danger because the government is there to defend people, and for enforce the law. So you don't want no government with afraid people. Then. You want the government to get sharp spokesmen, will get good sense of analysis, who can react, not violently, but intellectually to situations, to address the people. Okay, I think that's what the president need in team, and at times I get to give the Minister of Information some credit. He tries, he comes out to try to explain, but I wish we can see more of that. But the atmosphere, had been building up of confrontation, of dislike, of hatred. It's just like in America. Best example I can give you. Now, America with black people and the police. Black people don't trust the police because there is abundant evidence that the police, particularly the white police, when they come, then they come with racial animus. So to the point of black people, they know they even call police even when there is a need. So we're not the same as Salone no more, but we all criticize that in this country too. Okay? So you will not go carry that kind of a thing because we in situation is a little different. We're not get race problem. We're not get skin problem. So we're not trying to create problem which I know exist. You know? But we see the effect of that. When people are not trust the police, there'll always be tension. So that's the genesis, that's the beginning of, in fact, before we talk about the protest, let we deal with that. But I don't want to dominate the discussion. My co-host is on board now, and I want to take a caller, and then I go ask Ms. Fadima for join with, but she's on board now. Hello, caller. What's your name and where you come from?
Yes, hello.
Hello. What's your name, sir? And where you call from?
Yes, my name John. From Italy.
Okay, John. Can you tell us where you're calling from?
Yes, my name John. I call from Italy.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I first of all want to express my profound condolences to the one that always, they be lost their life to this unfortunate events will take place on the 10th. Right now, like everybody is playing the blame game, ruling government blaming opposition blaming government, government blaming, those Salonians that are living in diaspora. But I feel say, like everybody forgo a mea culpa to this. Like it's everybody's fault. It's everybody's fault. The one that we need to see as the victim of this whole thing, like now the youth them, the youth them way this we before self they're able, go for protest and we already get the intention for be violent. Because what make protests no they ever go well, especially Sierra Leone. But it's an African problem. Like for example, what's happen, to Trump then this year, you get right-wing militants then where they say like this thing is from a third world country. It's in a third world country because whenever protests they happen in a country that is as poor as Sierra Leone, you will always get people like criminals that will try to infiltrate themselves to people with great intention, for protest peacefully and create chaos. Everything happen. So like the iron fist of the police, like me, I can say is justified because of the way, like the nature of protest in Africa. Like it's not a Sierra Leone thing. In Africa as a whole. But like the diaspora people like the way they can incite, people can good. Because when you make somebody understand, say, your food at your table is being stolen, like somebody where, it live good, that anger they like, is so huge. And that's another thing where people with the diaspora, we get, the influence from people listening to them. The plants na people in brain, na people in aid. Say they're suffering today, now because of the government of the day, and which is not true. Now, Sierra Leone they face trade deficit every year. And once we fail to understand, and we will not accept, Sierra Leone is a poor nation. It's a poor nation. We just can't be sucked by the idea that we are rich in natural resources. Like in today's world, it's industrial. Like everything is being, for example, digitalized. China is taking the world, globally to economically. What in China gets, which natural resources which China they boast of. It's all about industrial. When they fail for accepting Sierra Leone is poor, you can't expect the government to be putting food on every Sierra Leonean table. It is impossible. Like President Bio's interview we do with BBC, like the interviewer be the try for say, okay, this free education thing, it's a long term, policy we not now Sierra Leone go give the benefit. But trust me, the level of education in Sierra Leone, like it weigh a lot to the poverty line. It weigh a lot because people enable go school and enable learn skills, until Sierra Leone, begin try for at least be independent. Like even they provide with you, but we can't provide even with you. It's with the vast arable land we get in that country. We can't provide with you. It's almost everything is being imported. When we say the revenue, the yearly revenue in the country is less than $500 million. Like, how you expect government for tackle this global, because this is it's a global issue. Like, for example, Italy, we are there. Like the same kind is here. If inflation that get the price of things are skyrocketing. Like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. But people the way get up. Hello? Yes?
John, may I interrupt you? We only
okay, I declare for land now.
3 minutes, 15 seconds, but please, you can call back
within
for
the
continuing.
will be saying, and then forbid the people for make second and they understand it. This is not, you can be at the opposition side. I don't miss, for the, criticism that is not constructive. It's only one country that we all have. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. If you get more for say, feel free for call back. All right, we just want to give space to other people then, but you're always welcome for express your views. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah, Ms. Fadima.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you were not here at the beginning, but welcome. We're glad to see you as always.
If you get your phone call, then I will answer them first, then I will come in.
Okay, well, in that sense,
I think you get call at them. You get call at them on the line, right? Okay.
Yeah, but in that sense,
I say good afternoon. Good afternoon to my people. Good afternoon to the viewers of viewers. The one that really come every week for come let we talk. The one that really come every week for let we come see what they happen for fair solution. I say good afternoon to we all. I share the page so that we will get people that we get forget a discussion. Sierra Leone needs a dialogue. Sierra Leone needs talk. Sierra Leone needs prayer. And today, now one of the day, then they were I really convinced say we need divine intervention. Why if I didn't say so? First of all, I get a sad news today. I lost my best friend, the husband and the father and the mother. They lost their begin today to a disease where kind of taking life today and then pronounced and dead, and it's kind of heavy on my heart. I say to Yusuf, Kamara, and the stepmama Bintu, Cabana, Maryland. I say condolences to the Kamara family. To the Mamana Freeton, Lydia Davis, we pray for now. May God have mercy on Sufia and his soul. It's a child that I was there when he was born. It's a child. Death is inevitable. All man get for die. And when we see society, in the world, if we look at the histories of war, if we look at the histories of conflict, now we the mortal man them, now we the begin ulti, now we the mortal man them, we the human beings, because of the word that we plant, what we do today, they prepare we for tomorrow, for the future. What we say today, it's going to be a word that is going to germinate, it's going to grow. We might feel say, what you talk to in anger, in vexation, and the spirit of revenge and the rebellious spirit of unforgiveness, and an eye for an eye never wins, and it continue for generation and generation. Because small pikin na they turn big man. And I can ask with a question, where were we? Who said we been there? Who said every one of Sierra Leone been there? When the Civil War started in 1991, I think it started in March 1991. And 92, the military took over. Who said we been there as Sierra Leoneans, and have we forgotten the atrocities of war? Have we forgotten because of the people that feel that they're not important because of many things where we do to one another. Because of power, we sit down at the throne of power and we dismiss and disregard the other side. And when the other one comes, they have no other way but for revenge. And that revenge spirit, where we depend so. August 10. Don't begin display another side of we. We have not healed. We're not healed yet. We know Sierra Leoneans are hurting. I hear this. I take myself out of some groups on social media because I don't know how they join me in a group, but sometimes I keep the groups because I want for listen how Sierra Leonean they think and talk that they team up every day for try for bring the word how they see them and how they see the world and waiting at the yeri for more people. And I hear the hate, and I hear the anger, and I hear the revenge, and I hear the unforgiveness, and I hear one side that feels it better past the other. And it is just a matter of time when the smoke go cover the clouds of Sierra Leone. The bloodshed of innocent lives and people that go out there, some of them are innocent. We cannot take that away from them. We not label everybody that came out as terrorists. I refuse and I rebuke that word. I rebuke them and I refuse them. We cannot do that. We cannot generalize everybody just like that. We have few bad apples among us. We have broken people among us. We got dogs among us. We call them, we label them dogs. But these are the souls that have been forgotten in society, where society thrived and left them behind. These are the people that when the rebel war came, the young boys, the young girls, some of these boys had killed before. Society did not rehabilitate them. We left them for perish. The politicians used them to their games and gains. They use them. They use them. And today, we see what we see so because we not learn from yesterday's mistakes. We have not learned. We have forgotten the pain, the torture, the agony, the fear. The same people that were afraid, they don't know their future. They don't know. Then we see the results of war, senseless war, because somebody decided to think in a God among us. Somebody forgets, say, there's another human being down there that is calling to you for help, but we refuse. We refuse to see. The religion, the way we follow, the Christian and the Muslim, he said, we are our brother's keeper. But we forget that the way power, we sit down at the throne of power. May God have mercy. I pray for the spirit of revenge for die among we. Because if that spirit, they not die among we. I pray for the spirit, for divine spirit of forgiveness. For forgiveness and tolerance for one another. I hear people. I see videos. I wept in my corner. I said, Papa God, what's in this? How we reach like how we reach so? I hear people talking. They think victory is theirs right now. No victory in war. No victory when you see another man broken in the corner. Another man hurting in the corner. We cannot light the candle. Some have been abused, battered, forgotten. And we cannot light their candles. We cannot give them hope. We cannot speak life into them. But we torture and kill one another in the name of party politics. The people there. Some people not believe in God. But whatever you believe in today, I saw a tweet from Ben Kelfala. Ben Kelfala say in their upline, not only they enjoy the fresh air, because if I can look for that tweet there for me, not only is he out there, whatever, he's praying for the president, for the health of the president and for long life, and they go consult the ancestors. You know, when they bring religion to us, we forget about our ancestors. This is our culture. We get culture. Some people will call them demon. What you have to talk so, it is not for all of us. But me, I invoke the spirit of we ancestors. Let it there upon we the spirit of peace, the spirit of tolerance, the spirit of strength, the spirit of what in a concept for let we able for tolerate one another. Now that spirit they me they invoke today. Among us, every one of the people that we don't die go before. They get sent in the name and we pray to the Almighty. Some call him Allah. Some call him Jesus, the Son of God. Some call him so. Whatever it is you call, I beg on una and I plead on una. For una call on whoever, the sustainer of life. Let me pray today, me people level, we people there. Because this spirit where Salomon Jamiru bring, a Yeri, a Allah, a Olmieda, say, Lord have mercy. How did we get to this? How did we people get to such hate for one another? Rivalry. Hey, how we get to this? That is my question. You know, it is sad, and I listen, nobody wants to take them. Everybody is pointing to that. With a set fire. When fire will can't turn, we're not going to be utter. Because we don't look land, we don't look, be humble, that humble spirit. Some of us go to church today, Sunday, some people don't go to church. They don't hear the sermon. But we say we believe God only in the mouth, but the things we do are not of God. The evil. We preach. We come on church, we come on a mosque, we go and listen to the kutubas on the sermons on Friday. We say we pray to God. The things we do, man. I was like, what do you do now with the go to God? What do you do to go to God? We day by ourselves, we live by ourselves, we slaughter one another. If you kill, won't you die yourself one day? Won't we die one day? The people that will die not in life. Policemen die. They are victims of the society too. Because we hear where the one that hold the trust, what we believe, what we not believe we say. We know why you say, but the international world, what are they feed we? Because what thing God give you and bless with and down with in our country, we not able to make and for let's sustain we lie. So therefore we go to the other side. For go land and for go bele, for go bigger. So now they will listen to. And then they put the money, then they take the cities in the money, they put up away. So then come, they don't tell we. Say, we get beaucoup problem in our country for fix. The TRC reports come. Now like Bible for Sierra Leone. Then tell we, what here waiting at the problem. What here waiting at the problem. But we continue, we don't forget. Have we forgotten how it felt that day? Have we forgotten where we have been there? Because we not experience them, but we all had been there. We all had been there in Sierra Leone with a think, with a prayer, with a wondering for we people there. When weeks, days, months go, we not hear from people, now official people, they all don't perish. We former CEO, Mr. Kabo, then killing Papa, Parebel war. Killing Papa for nothing, innocent souls. Because little kids had gone, because people had motives and intentions. But don't forget, 30 days, people in the cry. 30 days, we see the signs. Go to cutting tree. Let you see amputee the way they did. Go to cutting tree when you make people that useless for the rest of their life. They want the way they call for death, for kill, for hang, for do this, for do that. Where's the God in us? Where the God inside we? Where the love inside we? They wonder how they make being by power. I know they call name. I speak to your conscience. I speak to every Sierra Leonean in conscience. Search yourself. Search your soul. If you they do the right thing, search yourself. I don't get much for give today. But I give you peace. I bring peace in the name of God, in the name of the Creator. Everybody get the name what they call them. That hope, that thing what we not see, but yet we get hope. That force, science call them the force that holds the world together. There is something greater than man. We hold the world together. Every dog getting there. We go push, we go ignore, we go blame, we go cast. But we get for move forward, and if we not heal, if we not forgive, we not go able to go before. We are broken, we are hurt, we are angry. People and they suffer. We get bad one day among we don't do wrong. Yes. That's why we have laws of the land. But even if they don't do bad, what you know that they put person in a jail, Mr. Shilo, you're not a lawyer, sir. Now for go rehabilitate somebody, for they come back for be a better person in the society. There's a tribe in South Africa. When they get a bad person among them, they can't go to the town center. And everybody they try for put good things inside so it will come back for be good in a society. But we feel so we better pass everybody else. We feel saying that we are the righteous. The story in the Bible what them give we. For the one that we know the Bible, because me I know the Bible, I know the Quran. The story say when God say I get for send somebody to you. When Jesus Christ come, as the story narrates, the Jews when we feel saying that they're not the righteous, that they're not the one where God they talk to, God not they talk to nobody else. The story say when Jesus can't come, he said, I will send you a savior. Prophets, they don't come, they don't prophesy. Say there will be a savior of the world, which the Muslims have believe in, and Abi Isa way, the Christian called Jesus Christ. But the people that thought they were righteous, when they say that the Jewish, they say no, God not go send, because when Jesus Christ come, he go down to the raggy girl them, he go down to the raggy boy them, he go down to the ghetto, he go down. The Jews they not believe. They say how should a savior or a person come, a prophet come? If a day among them, they not to the prophet, it's not the true person of God. We don't come. The people don't allow go back to we book the way we believe, say now we believe, we now in a guide we, because religion guides us. The word guides us, the word teaches us, the word try for build we, for let us believe wisdom, for let us believe, for let us able get along. Yes, we all know we get along this all the time. There's always going to be, but majority of the people will be in the middle. There's always the bell curve, one to the right, one to the left, the extremes. But what are we going to do to flame down for what's the fire? The people there. Samuel Jamiru in speech to me. I clap for him. And I even make the joke say Samuel Jamiru for president 2023. Because that is a man that spoke. You know, when chaos happens and the world is noisy around you, and the emotions are brewing inside you, the hormones are kicking, the anger, the pride, the ego, and it call on you, you hurt, you angry, you down, you want to fight. When the dust is settled, when you take a deep breath and think happy thoughts and come back, you realize that's the speech to me, Samuel Jamiru give. And every Sierra Leonean for rejoice in such speech. I hear my people, I hear people I respect, I hear people I love, I hear people I care for, condemning to the highest degree that Samuel Jamiru is a traitor of Sierra Leone. Hey, Papa God. And we call ourselves children of God. Let me get the phone call then, Mr. Shilo. This is my sermon today.
Okay.
This is my sermon.
Hello, caller. What's your name and who's you call from?
Hello, viewers. Mina caller from Belgium.
Yes, sir. All right, caller from Belgium.
So Mrs. F, they try for help now because the topic owner they come with very interesting. Let's say they help now for talk soon. You know, actually, Sierra Leone no get luck for get a good leader. I always talk that anytime what they call viewers. If you're not person, we say they read about most of the great leaders there. Say no one they lucky for get one. The only one who come close now is Ahmed Yankaba. Take a look of the great Julius Nyerere. Because Tanzania itself, they get over 100 plus tribes. All in tribal, the trifle, the tribes together. Any of the tribes not get any pinch. Or if you get irresponsible leaders who can get from the time of Albert Magai, who help promote tribalism, for say, let's see now, for the on top of all tribes. It come back to this Stevens, and we incident and it was because if you not understand, Stevens said, maybe it's not to control for mood. Because if it's in target, is for make sure let Minima not come in the realm of power. And I keep it in target for. Because we don't deal with the northerners, the top northerners there. I think make sure they bring SI to the because in Amadingo, SI cannot touch in Amadingo. Because they not trust of northerners. Think that one can not introduce them to the northerners because nothing to do to me. And passe, then they conduct black bearer in the election because them believe say anybody who will wait if I could do that. So now I make no for let the flag for let mistaken fall inside the no one. So most of the leaders corrupt, they all corrupt. Like when the country don't do that kind of plus, get a great leader. You don't set the situation. It's for talk like a leader, for calm the situation. I even listen the president is disappointed because I'm so threat. They talk like Papa. Because when you put on shape and bond, you give a different with says you say this country and bond, you really don't get in order. Anyway, I get lots to say. Then I will try to call back.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that, and we respect your views. Joe, please call back if you get time. All right. Thanks. Hello, caller. What's your name and who's you to call from? Hello, caller.
Hello, viewers.
Yes. Hello. What's your name, sir? And who's you to call from?
Yeah, how do I do?
Pretty good, pretty good. We do very well. We hope you safely do well.
Yeah, we do well. And first of all, I don't listen to your analysis, and I want to commend you for your efforts. We will not take time for analyze issues we there for do with Salone. First, we need to extend we heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family, the one who lost their precious life in this protest where people are saying a terrorist attack. It's very unfortunate as Sierra Leoneans for where they involved into such riotous conduct will undermine the development of this country. As I can always say, development not the day inside where peace not there. We need peace and national cohesion if we want development. As youth we get purpose, as youth we get a promising future, we get to live by the rule of law. We live in a democratic world. The democracy give you the rights for protest within the confines of the law, and that may a peaceful protest. But this way happen August 10, now a wake-up call. It's so worrisome. We get close to election now. For people waiting at the diaspora as alleged, they incite people for involved into them kind of acts, vandalize properties and destroy lives, where no amount of money or wealth no go bring them people and back what we lost. we don't get idea of what happened 11 years war. We yet still they suffer the pinch, the pain of what happened during the 11 years war. I believe say every Sierra Leonean way gets brief idea about what happened during the wartime. No go ever partake into riotous and disorderly behavior where they undermine the peace and stability of this country. The people voted for change and said they need President Bio. If the people not get interest again in President Bio, let them wait 2023, June. Let them cast them vote. Let them exercise them franchise. Nobody no go hold them for that. But for let them come on the streets, then spoil government property them, then destroy lives them. Yet still where they free trial, they feel the panic and tension of what happened August 10. Up to now, country not in a normal position. So it worries some for go-getters. People where they go for go find a living for the day. People where they go about their own normal business then. People in the way are stray bullet meat. They not get no idea of what happened. So they sit down at the host there and kill them for nothing. Burn police stations there. Burn government boss there where they help for savage transportation crisis in this country. I believe say this is not a peaceful protest. As a youth, we need to deviate from such conduct. We're not getting all that side for go. We're not getting all that country in Sierra Leone we get. If we cry for development, we're not for involved into situations the way they destroy their development the way we get. Sierra Leone not a rich country. We're very poor. Tracy people believe say the amount of minerals we'll get enough for put the country in a better limelight. If we don't want the president again, let we wait. Let we exercise the franchise as a lawful and patriotic Sierra Leoneans. Let we not believe say violence is the best answer. We need to get a consultative engagement. We need to talk to the people where they're in charge of issues. And as a youth, I believe say we call go be answered. But this way up then we are against them. The youth then they are at fault. And because of the poor communication again, where the ruling government not put mechanisms in place for savage situations.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
at the call from Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And we appreciate the fact that somebody didn't Freetown, they listen to a broadcast. And we strongly encourage you for participate at all times, every weekend. We come at 3:30 on Sundays. So please encourage others to listen and call in. Now,
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Now, would I read the comment of certain people? But let me take one more call before we'll get into it, because I want to make sure, say, the audience get as much input in the program as we, the host. So we strongly want for, we'll try our best for accommodate as many people. So please call her. When you call, we only get 3 minutes. If you get more for say more than 3 minutes, you can call back. But so we'll accept other calls. Okay. Thank you. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you call from?
Mina Combo, I call from New York. I see the question: who are responsible for the protest will take place? First of all, the police here will lost their life, and the civilians they will lost their life. They are equal victims of a bad governance system. And the bad governance system, who done are the people there? Now the president and a cabinet. Now then they formulate policies, now then they increase taxes, now then they increase shipping lane, now then they make the country very difficult. We in Guinea, we then are the same place, same region, but for ship go Salone, it double the price for ship go Guinea. And more than half of that money, they go directly to government coffers as CTN. All this talk, whether they talk, say, oh, now different people from different region or different tribe, now they want to overthrow the government. Or now then they against the government. It's not true at all. In Monday, even Kenema, they sit down house, they're not open shops because they self gains. And from the 10th to now, we now see mass protest counter-protest Nabo and Kenema in support of the government. Because in any country where people feel saying that these people are there against, their people are support, therefore don't come out and support the government. Now streets, not to forgo sit on a buffer. Then on one side. The police, how much do they pay police? They not even reach 1 million. This inspector no, they get 900,000 at Salone. If they not pay you, if they not give you one bag dress, you go buy, you take 550, you go buy one bag dress. Waiting they left you a family for the month. That's not disaster. So the police and the people there now both victims, not so then they build houses, not so then they go overseas on vacations. President Bio with all the love where they claim say love Salone. Now he don't come also he go vacation. Almost 100,000 pounds he don't spend it. Now that vacation. He not go sit down bond let spend 2 weeks at least. That beggar, that mommy will not able to eat fine. He must fry a cake. People they must go to and they must sell. They must get things. You want let tourists them go to your country. We use not like your country. You not get man go to a village. You not get man go to a bond district. Let go sit down the 2 weeks. Relax. Let people say now, but oh no, not a responsible president. Today go Lebanon, tomorrow you go and I say vacation. You know this only this president. Now they sleep and that. They're nonsense work at the day. So the victims of this are both the police, the military, and the people there. Because now they all feel the hardship of the country. Not to the government officials there. Then just they set fire them people there to themselves. Set fire the police to the people there. There's no excuse under that. Yahweh na SSF. We don't see demonstration across the country. We don't see demonstration. Even this fuel hike, we see demonstration at Kenema, Nabo, where they go to the SFP party office, then they are. We don't see no police will go disperse them. Because if they be fat here against they for burn that party office there. They're not doing. But whenever they say protest, peaceful protest, now the west, now the north, as 2-3 people together, they don't go there for go scatter them, for go to here against. That's they disperse the people there. That's they make the people and get angry. I will call back.
All right. Thank you so much for following the instructions. Please call back if you may. We'll get several callers on the line. So if I may, let me just make a brief comment as my co-host might get something for comments for make. Then we'll go. I know we'll get a lot of callers. Please, we don't want for them to hold on too long. But we don't want to forget some of the points being made by everybody. So we just want to address some of the things then. Personally, as a host and me observation, I like for sharing with people, then we got to try to be as balanced as possible. Okay? For example, one of the things we cannot condemn violence and preach violence at the same time. We cannot, and we need to know the definition of incitement, as to what it means. Your understanding of incitement, now where you encourage people for engage in unlawful act. Okay? That said, I am not convinced that the diaspora has been the backbone of Australian economy. I mean, we need to make that clear. When the Civil War was at the center, at the thick of depression in Sierra Leone, the vast majority of people were getting the support from the diaspora. So the diaspora should not be sitting idly by and allow people then we not to do proper analysis for say, oh, the diaspora then incite people. I don't know if diasporas, they may be supportive of certain group, but inciting people for engaging in unlawful conduct will be counterproductive. So I'm not sure if people use the word properly or they know the meaning of the word about incitement. Okay? But I just try to make we all understand for say, when we see the violence of civilians attacking police, I mean, definitely it's wrong. We all should condemn that. The police, people should not get into the habit or practice of attacking authorities of any kind, police or not. So we see that happen, okay? But we also see where the police engaged in destructive actions. I see a video from Kenema. Police officer, they break down people and stall. This is Kenema now, because they not go sell. Here are innocent poor people staying home because there has been rumored that if you not stay home, you may be hurt. Poor person, it's on a house. Police, they force up and say, well, you not can sell today. And knock down, I have video to that effect, knock down people in store. That is not right. That is bad policy, you know? And I think my 91 or some other place, so the police and they go knock on people and say, hey, you're not going for free kind of treat. That is risking people's life. Not encourage people for kind of treat if they figure say, if they're in the safety of their home, they are more secure. So you see, this is a balancing thing. We need for let people respect authority. We need for authorities and for try for conduct themselves in a proper way. That way, the innocent lives they always see lost on both sides. Nobody, no decent Sierra Leonean go condone or support that kind of a behavior there. These were innocent lives lost. And one thing we need to make clear, anytime there is a protest, there are people who will go inject themselves into the protest for bad reason, for vandalize, for for attack people. And we see that because we know say as much as the police are disliked, people who were hacked were not hacked by the police. Now mean-spirited Sierra Leonean them attack other Sierra Leonean and butcher them like cow. We cannot condone that. We cannot encourage that. That must be condemned. Just as we go condemn police officers that we come, they can fire a live bullet. I also get video of somebody sitting on a porch who was shot and killed. So the recklessness there is plenty for share, but they will learn from watching it happen. So we need good leadership. And this thing about, there is another thing I want to address because there is rumor that a certain minister is going around summarily harassing people in the darkness of night and killing them. You can't do that. And if the president can hear me, you get to tell your minister for stop. And that minister there, if it is false, he need for rise up and defend himself and say that is a lie. But this is a common rumor in the communities for say this particular minister. They go and round up people then they look the video of certain people that will be the protest and they go attack them at the neighborhood, arrest them, take them places, torture them and kill them. We cannot do that. So, hello caller, what's your name? You say the call from?
Yeah. My name is Asta, the call from Canada.
Yes, Miss Aisha, thanks for calling.
So sorry, I thought you hear me. If I don't know if
you sound good to we right now.
Okay. So me, the two I get for ad, I dey pray that we country not go back to the old thing where it don't happen before when at the war. We are the one that we don't lose their life them on both sides. They pray, let the family then let them take heart and let God be the one that don't go. Let them so they rest in perfect peace. Me at the talk as a citizen. Now big at the big so we all who fellow Sierra Leoneans, them both home and abroad. From where we born. Me in the 70s. I can the one who born before. We can talk of good times then, but we then tell them they me all along where I grew up. Now then after I know I don't see fet. And when they say strike, things that they happen, you know, you see peace all tell you no more but fet. You are they come up now, this no more the war come now. And we suffer and too much. I mean, if you say after that, we don't really learn a lesson. Both young one them and the one that say not been born yet. Like the first caller, Abu, we not been born yet during the war. So people like that, they all still they talk about the war because they're born, they get to see the aftermath where they don't explain to them. So I feel say to me, then two parties they are, they also to me I not feel say them very effective, but we can still do things to make things then get better. My suggestion why they say, not so for just for the keep they say the same thing because nothing not get for change until everybody don't come with solutions. They let all man brainstorm and see what we be able to do. Me, what me think, me idea. Like where we get make we get some people that will be the icebreakers then. Some from the APC, some from the SL people. And then they blame nobody now this time. This one now everybody in fault. Citizens they get fault, lawmakers they get fault, so we all come together, a lot of a solution. So if you know like a coalition of peacekeepers them, when we hear something like this, now we get some people there in place. Let's say if we say 10 members from SFPP, 10 members from APC, no matter which party now the sitting party at that time day. Now we get people that of all sectors then for a start. Let's say if we hear rumors like this that they can't riot. Now we get from this side, we get from that side, let them get like meeting. Make people then can from all other sectors then first, as the first starting, can explain their grievances, what thing they go on. Then take the most important, like the thing that will dominate during that meeting day, bring account to these 10 members there, where 5 go come up from the sitting party, 5 come up from the other one, we're not to the sitting party. Then they hang it together, then negotiate. And come, if in a national television set, any style in a radio, make them talk together, then talk to people then out there. If SLPP not, if APC not in power, well, now you APC somebody they talk, APC members they go listen. And no matter what they get for say. So like something like this way happens. So the hardship now all over the world, not to pretend as Salone no more. We all know that it creates issue. So, but how well for explain to people and for say if the magnitude just high to win no more, but now all over. Now when we they at peace with step, then 2 parties, then let them come together, let them negotiate behind the table, behind the door.
Sorry for interrupting you, Ms. But and the 3 minutes is up. You can call back because we get many other callers then. And let's see Ms. Fadima, my co-host, if they get comment from me before we continue. Mute. You are muted.
Yes, sir. You talk of a particular minister, when Lawrence Lima, where the people, videos are out there where the people and they say, we see a video where them vehicle them go on one particular house, then go pull somebody in and see the people on the ground. And we see the minister, the pointing finger. There's that video all around social media. We wake up in the morning, we get coffee order and a free tongue. We get coffee order, but we wake up in the morning, we see all them market table now Abacha streets, they don't broke up. They broke all after this August 10. They broke all the table there. We see them video that they how we go here. This one of these ministers, Lawrence Liman, a lot of time citizens they don't complain, but the way they do things, but it pleases the president for keeping these kind of people. Now with society, Mr. Shillon, I will tell you this: I have cancelled my trip. Me grandpikin at the first time. I'm from and go to Salone, but I have cancelled my trip. This is the first time I don't feel na Salone like say. The elections are coming closer. I don't ever fear for go inside Salone till this time. I'm saying this openly. Because when we have people naming people against a lady, what do they call them Kadikadi? Kadikadi, they're in Os. They go pull her inside, was policeman, they go pull her inside, they arrest them. Just because she is an APC, they say they associate with APC. If we don't get problem with somebody else before, when them picking them, they get problem. When the one na SLPP, the one na APC, 2 picking them get problem. They use the power because now they have power. They use them for it. And this is a story I'm telling because this is I raise my hand to God is the honest truth. She's locked up right now. They're up right now. They don't take her in oath. Because people are among us that are on the social media that are pointing and calling names of people They may not do it before. Attila may not do this before. He calls my cousin for die because they have appointed people. This na APC. They did it during the rebel war. Me, Papa, and Auntie, they burn her alive now for me. They burn her alive. She's an older woman. She was up the stairs. They burnt her alive because Nebu Kandong he was up in building. We family us then Afrobe. We don't there for generation old people that don't build. We're not to politics money because people among us are devious and manipulating. They're pointing people and they think it's a joke. They think it's a joke. They're pointing people. Then they go drag people then come on inside their house and they torture them. Who then kill according to some of the things that are going on and some of the videos that they're saying out there. They are doing it. But nobody is saying nothing. Nobody is doing nothing about it. But yet we call the other people terrorists. I mean, this is why problem not a done. If we want to make peace, let we collect, we mistake them. Let we realize we faults and we problem. Because this is what's on the reports. The TRC report states that we have to stop these kind of things. Try mindfully, consciously, not for continue for doing things a day. You talk about the Kenema, the first day of the protest, the next day, what the people they not go sell. We see the video, policemen, and they broke the stores of these people. Say because they don't come out for sale, then they challenge government.
Yeah.
It is sad. And these are the evil minds among us. That's why I say we get for pray for that. Let we kill that spirit of revenge against us because what did they do so? If people are revenge, you know, born good picking. So we pray for kill that spirit of revenge. We get for see what will they do, and we get for call with people out. And when Solomon Jamiru come up with stuff, people are condemning him, talk about he's a traitor and he's a bad influence to President Leone, and for put President Leone for fire. But yet we have people doing those things. And then when they cheer them on, when they clap for them, like the other people, they don't get feeling. You know, we get to be aware and mindful of what we do because our actions of today determines the future with tomorrow. Take your call at them, Mr. Shiro.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nadima. Again, just briefly, Mr. Jamiru, if I have to cast a vote, I think he's the best on the president's team because you need cooler heads, not all these other guys. But let's go to the next caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you call from?
Yeah, me, I dey call from New York again. Hello?
All right.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Colombo. I think it's a good one. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, let me correct Madam Fadima. The point finger where they burn people and they happen doing SLPP in time. NPR, AFRC, after they successfully take out AFRC in the city, now they go and point people where they pull and they burn and they kill them. The same SLPP. So I don't want any complication. AFRC, doing AFRC where the rebel in Canada, they not do that. They not point at people and say they are an SLPP, they pull and they kill them. But where SLPP take over, after we then pull the FRC, Johnny Paul in group, now they can't do it. Then secondly, imagine, what is more peaceful than where policy sit down in house? He say you need to go sell, he close the shop. Una still go violate that person day. Una go broke the shop. This is the thing. I say me call that woman, come on, say then protest, then go arrest her. People then come out that day. Some woman there before this violent protest, they all placard, they beat them. We see the video there where they beat them, they go then I say they beat them, they damage them, they face them. We see the video there before the violent protest. Waiting peaceful past that day. Then students then na Lincoln University where they come out and protest, they just wear black, they wear placard, they all placard. Una not see the brutality where they brutalize them. So una tell me who then are the problem at Salone. Because the police, then I use them. Because they said they suffer from the bad system. Because their life, the standard of living, how many police they go vacation for the year overseas? How many of them get BB goes there? Now only the big one, then the government officials, then they bill 6 months, they don't bill. And when the police are victims just like the people. But the police now then they use. You be peaceful or you on placard or then they go brutalize you. So we'll not forget that. Imagine. So how peaceful, who's going to dictate a peaceful protest now, Salone, for what this government take place? Where they not brutalize? We'll not be honest, to not put the blame to the government. Yeah? If we not put on me, they put on to the government, and the government get the problem. Because we don't see peaceful protests where people are all placard, they still go on after them. They beat them, they chase them. They're not block road, they're not born motor, they're not born tire. I stop me first.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Thank you so much. And we'll get a pool where we conduct. We'll get a pool where we conduct. We say who is to blame for the deadly protest? Okay, I just want to remind, and there are some viewers them we really those sending we get the opinion. So far, and the pool over the conductor, an independent pool, just put out there and ask the question. 79% of the respondents then say the government. Only 5% say oppositions, which means all the political opposition parties them. So we get 11% of diaspora. And then, of course, we get a sub category of SLPP and APC, then say 5%. But 79% blame the government, and then 11% blame the diaspora. And again, make I remind people, incitement, now for encourage and push people for do unlawful act. Okay, so if the diaspora is guilty of that, okay, so be it. I just haven't seen any evidence of that, because I think people are mistaken, and we get for deal with that issue there, the issue of the gentleman we called for a strike from Holland, where then they call, I can't remember his name, Adebayo. That may be the people that they paint everybody with the same brush for say diaspora, because he's in the diaspora because he lives overseas. So I'm not sure if any representative of all the Salonians, they were there all over the world, the rest of the world. But if people in their opinion feel say 11% of the diaspora, then the create atmosphere back home for commit a lawful act. Well, that's what the pool numbers show. That's what it shows. But that said, I just want to comment on that very quickly. Let me go to the next caller. Hello, caller. What's your name and where side you call from? Hello. Hello, caller. Hello. Yes. Dial your radio, yes, dial your TV. How
are you, sir? Mr. Jamiru.
Mr.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the kind of time that we continue. But yes, the day before yesterday, a lot of you come back with a deception, a lie, and calculated in press conference. Not only that, we respect the vice president. For people who are overthrown the government. That is far from the truth. Mr. Madapio, nobody in this country we want to come as a terrorist. For they continuously they call people a terrorist, it's a disservice. The only person who overthrown the government, the Madapio. And this would they put some head on with Madapio now, make it not so not afraid. When I in life for winner the diaspora say with the insight, when the other insight, you begin talk now so. The first possible insight, during 2018, Mr. Madapio said if you don't win, no government don't exist. And I know it's never say the same thing. After they win the election, Mr. Madapio in West come back and tell we say, in the mob justice with people them. Not only that, it's say in the court. Imagine genitalia. First one not elect. This is Madapio. And the next thing what they do, they get up what tell we say, people and go wear black now, McKinney. And they kill people that they might be wear black. We get Austin Johnny, we say it go kill kind young killer, it go put in natic, let people around the country share. These are the people who they incite. What should have the call for this year, this particular protest?
They're all massive on us. Then they protest against the government for the injustice. Which are the injustice them? Don't come back with them. Number one, Madapio grab and shut down and remove Nagatel Pierce. Put the audit them. $200 million would they give for the corona. Madapio they all the money in. That's what they do. When they come back to the politics, constituency 110, Mr. Madapio grab go. And in people them and co-opt them, they go they book all the ballots them. Not only that, 10 people and they remove them for parliament. Who are the insider? No matter view. Then we go back to the people we don't arrest, from Sylvia Blyden to Mohamed Kamarimba to LAJ to Dennis White, and we all loving woman, Femi School, and lock them up. But they ask the question, what are the insights? This is not about the economy. This is by the oppression. I will tell you, thank you. We will come off the video, out of the video. We will tell the world what the matter you don't do in our country. The only insights in our country, no matter you. And I can tell you that somebody like I'm not calling the name then now, but that they ready for this debate, and we'll tell the solution is spend so much money in Australia. God bless me. God bless the people of Australia. We get it for this fight, and this fight will continue. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Arunzi. Thank you so much. Thank you for that thing. Mr. Sila, I'll go to the next caller. And that is another thing, though, where they use that English word incitement. And yeah, I mean, I guess not the new whatever. Because me said they don't accuse me. Somebody don't tell me say I'm inciting. I say giving knowledge to people is not inciting. Making people become aware is not inciting. So you don't go tag me. Who say you want to tag me? That is your opinion. What do you think say they do? When they try for label people and nobody will label me because I refuse to accept that people will label me, say me the inside. I am giving people knowledge. I'm trying to let people, because we want a better Sierra Leone. That is not incitement. So, I mean, nobody condones violence, because in violence, everybody kills. But if we say we talk for peace, if we say one go before, if we condemn the acts of the people, the way hijack the protest, because not everybody out there was violent. Some people hijack the protest where, they don't get their own personal grievance, they don't get their own motive, whatever it was, we don't know, that took over and engaged the police, and because the police then shoot the first tear gas, they begin to throw away stone, and whatever it is that they did was wrong. We're not what they call them, but the people that were out there are not terrorists. We cannot call them terrorists. We cannot say they are terrorists. I don't agree to that. They did little bit of disorder and whatever. You have people, and unfortunately, people in the line of duty, as well as Sierra Leoneans, were killed, were murdered, were killed on that day. And nobody wins from that. If every one drop of Sierra Leonean blood, now we all people, now we all country, now we all they feel on the same way. So if we just say people are terrorists, then we have other people on the side of the government going out terrorizing people, speaking all these words against people, just like how Mr. Zubair remind me of the Abu tape. Abu said, we go kill una, we go broke una foot, una mama then go wear black. Or Sinjoni, even good for talk. One day I tell them, say, it is a shame that we get young people, we get for carry on this hate, for try for make, say, other people then voice, they not for you for suppress them, you for shut them down, and you for kill them. And that is so sad. And then we get when they go block people and table. How that they not a provocation? How can you punish people because they go protest, or because they sit home they not sell? How can you go the poor market one? Not a more problem you don't cause for the people of Sierra Leone. They say times are hard. Now who stand and they go get at them table, and then we cannot provoke people and think the people Mumusef, if you question too much, you go pull voice. It go pull vote. So we cannot go there, we break table them, we do all this, then we say the people for keep calm. Not a more problem, would it cause a more hardship for the people there? Is it right to do? Who that do them? Who that do them? Anybody know who that do them? Anybody come out, say, condemn them, say who that do them from the government? No. It was only the mayor that put her out there, say, he don't get nothing for doing that, he don't know how they do that. And it was coffee order. So who then come out coffee order for Kandua? Who then get the power for come away coffee order day? Let us ask the question and let us be righteous. and try for be righteous to one another. Is it right? Not a more tension, not a more problem. How will they done this? How will they end this? Because everybody, when you do on something, people hold grudge. Not some people, like way some people now an eye for an eye. Like some people back then they turn the other cheek. So if we not left them where, if we not cut some of this attitude and problem we'll get within we self, if we not stop the hate of our generation, of our grandparents, now make us say, why would they go to the spirit of our ancestors? Now we cut down the hate, now we cut down the grudge, now we cut down that unforgiving spirit where there is a way, and that revenge spirit and thirst for human blood. Now we cut and away. Let we go to our ancestors them, and let we cut down, and let we cut ourselves, let we break the yoke, let we break that yoke of unforgiving and revenge spirit. Let we call on we ancestors them. But I know for call on. Let we get the spirit of peace, the spirit of love, the spirit of forgiveness inside we. But we go out there and then we see what thing that they do, and then they can't they, but nobody know they come, but then they can't condemn the other side. Are we not all Sierra Leoneans? Are they not all Sierra Leoneans? Our war will end. Let we take we call her them Mr. Shilo. War not go end. War not go end. Salama Jamiro come out to talk. People are saying at Trecho, Mother be for fire.
No. Well, I mean, again, would they try for let people and get a little better command of the meaning of certain words? You know, maybe people in the mix enticement, you know, with the other word. But even that, I don't think if you day abroad, you support an idea or promote any ideology that makes you a terrorist or a supporter of incitement and all this kind of thing. We have to be very careful. But let me go to the callers then, because we'll get a lot of callers then today. Hello, caller. What's your name and where you call from?
Ezekiel, I call from Washington.
All right, Mr. Ezekiel, thanks for calling.
Thank you so much. You know, the issue where they happen at the country is very deep. Definitely, it's a combination of a lot of things. But the thing they always show bright when we talk about good leadership. That is time this way good leadership for sure. Good leadership not the show way things and sweet, where everybody they kumbaya. Not to the same way good leadership they show. Good leadership they show in times of trouble. Where trouble don't shake. Now the time you for display leadership. You know, the president, we don't talk over and over. You know, I don't know what thing we will say again, or maybe they not care about our voices. We boku they speak with well-meaning, heated feeling for the president for let he succeed. Because when he succeed, we get less pressure on we now for let people and live well naturally. And when we give advice out, not to out of hatred, not out of love and how we see them. If you not take all, at least take small one from we and try for check them. You know, where they say you na the papa of the country for the country, or you na the kumra for the country. You know, a very local, you know, nothing where you for open them and see them how that for be waiting na kumra, waiting na papa. You know, when fights they happen at your house, you know they come take sides, you know they even try to understand the truth and begin whap the other person. Not do this again. Not so. You always listen keenly and talk to them, let you read them voices, and then you arrange things for their calmness being at your house. Now so you for do as a papa for the country. Listen keenly, the 10-way tension one. All waiting you for tell the people now for calm down tension. Not to for divide the people How that young man, the first day I read that audio, you know, I listen to it. I'm like, oh my God. You see the fear way the inside. You see how they speak personally, not as a government. And he is a deputy communication director. He could have said that in the behalf of the government. But you know, the divisive nature where it did inside the house. So as a result, he spoke as a personal Sierra Leonean. Mr. President, please listen. Now time is for bring the country together. From the beginning, people then push you. The same push, if you go back and look at the inner core of the young Taba, the same push was there. But he was able to stand out and say, no, this Sierra Leoneans not try for. Shoot at the middle small. The same push was in there. If you go study there, then we'll tell you. And then you see him how they push him out. Even at the point of death, he was ostracized out of SLPP because it tried for to happen at the middle. Mr. President, you know they come to the presidency with Bandera all the time. You've been doing them during the campaign. You've been doing them at the beginning. Ebo, when the change will happen? The change will happen. These are your brothers and sisters. Deal with them as brothers and sisters. You know, I'm not going to even talk about brother man waving the contributing at this place once on a while. Alpha Saidu. Go sit down on television and say, the one day waiting they break the coffee for be shoot on site. My brother, dangerously bad. It's on record.
All right, sir. We're sorry we'll get for cut you off, but we'll get a lot of other callers. Ms. Fadima, I don't know if you get any comments before we go to the next caller. Ms. Fadima, I think you're mute. You get any comments before I call the next caller? Hello, caller. What's your name? What's that you call from?
Yes, I'm Nami John from me.
All right, sir.
No, I love this last caller. Yeah,
the way
what he talks so.
It is very sad for me. You know, people they try for
no, sir, go ahead.
Just cast the blame to the government and the police. You know, and then failing to condemn, you know, the protest of itself. That was a violent protest. Like, you just can't negate that fact. If the police they not be there, you know, that day they for try for see things for be go peaceful. Like, we don't get more casualties than the one we already get. Now you can't call this a a peaceful protest where you they get people and for go burn police station. Where you they get people and for go burn for example. In a Kalbaton, you get APC Atara base, you get SLPP Atara base, and the only Atara base that was burnt on that day was SLPP Atara base. You can't call that a peaceful protest. Like, it is very unfair for me, you know, as a Sierra Leone and patriotic citizen, for not call this protest a violent one. The police intervention, like, it was justified. Now, how you go expect protests for then tear gas? Now, like, even the most civilized world in the Western world, like, people use tear gas. Why Sierra Leone police use tear gas for make the, you know, then disperse violent crowd? Like, people they take and say the police don't act out of hand. Like, this is hypocrisy. If we're not able to condemn this protest as being violent. It's violent. That was a violent protest. And then people for make it able, you know, because if we not learn from this, if we not see this protest as it's been violent, then waiting again, how you want to put a violent protest for B? How you want a violent protest for B? Like, you know, like it's sudden for me because of maybe, you know, you're politically connected to, you know, to a person or to a party, then you try for not condemn something where it is evident, it is clear. Like, even, you know, mainstream media, them all around the world, the headline a violent protest in Sierra Leone. Headline a violent protest. So was it a conspiracy between the government of Sierra Leone and mainstream media, them all around the world? No, there's no mainstream media that classified that protest as it being peaceful and the police being violent. It was a violent protest. So the intervention of the police was justified, was way justified. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let me just make a
I will
quick
answer her
comment.
later, but I don't know her name, but I will answer her later because I want to clarify something to her.
Okay,
I will answer her later. I know your name. We call this last caller, but I will answer her later. Go ahead to your next call, sir.
Now, I want to make a quick comment with respect to the caller we just called. I don't know how long he doesn't listen. I don't know how long he doesn't listen to the program, but his points are well taken. But I think what he is missing here, let me not forget, say the protest was a 3-day protest. 2 days cannot be, we have people being indoors. Under no circumstance can you characterize them as violent, because there was no violence when people didn't stay home. And so let me point out, the blame lies on all sides, or both sides. And during the time when people in their home, where they not go work, where they not go sell, the police went out there breaking down stalls. That has to be mentioned if we're trying to be objective. Okay? The police need better training. If people are peacefully protesting, if there is no violence at yet, because police will only use tear gas for break and thuggery or violence or looting. But if there is no evidence of that and people are just simply protesting, until it goes beyond that, the police shouldn't be firing tear gas at all. They should get adequate training. So it's not like one is blaming the police, because we also say on the show that there is condemnation, because there are some thuggish elements there. We join outside protest the third day, with the sole purpose now for inject violence into the whole thing. So nobody will condone that. We also saying at this show earlier that with sympathy goes to even the police, because we feel pity, we feel compassion for the police because of the way the system to take care of them and the exposure to violence. These were people, they will get families, police women, policemen. Nobody will say that not worthy of condemnation. And the people that will do that, that's why we have the law. It will be appropriate for the government to investigate, for arrest them, because that was not what the protest should have been. So there is nothing hypocritical in the sense that we're trying our best for look at this whole thing all around. So there is no agenda here. We just try for help for prevent.
I just want to add to you. We were the first of all the stations, of all these platforms. VOS was the first to come out and say condolences, and we not the one that way they call for say condolences to the police, to the people that were lost, to every soul that was perished that day. That somebody decide for let it die, like give a dog and a treat. We are not for violence, but again, we get to know what's at the cause of the problem. If we don't solve the cause, if we don't find out the cause, identify the cause of the problem, we're bound to repeat our mistakes. That's life, simple. Life 101. If we don't go back for find the root cause of the problem, like how they be doing at the reconciliation. That's why I say, have we forgotten? Have we forgotten how it felt in 1991 war? Have we forgotten? Have we forgotten where were you? I asked the question, where were us? I said, we get for begin pray, because I agree to Solomon Jamiru in statement. But then we get people among us that are full of anger and hate and revenge. And if they continue to do that, then the other side goes revenge again, and we will get more problem. That is why leaders should come out there and acknowledge people and business and their problems. If we don't do that, we are bound to make the mistake and make the mistakes of 19 and August 10. Show down there a little bit of how we people and they feel inside that. And then you see the anger. I was saying this every day here. Sometimes I take myself out of social media because the evil, the hate, the utterance of our people among one another, you hear the hate. We go kill. We see soldiers that are guiding the president, talking about we go kill Tolomo, we go this. Those people should have been dismissed long time ago. That thing is wrong. But if we continue for left, what did they happen? People they will say, oh, because the color, they say, because we get affiliation. I don't have no affiliation to party. I get fumble them, blood fumble them. They've been saying, Mama Bonham, me and a cousin, we live on the same bed. I mean, people there. I mean, granny people there. So I know, APC said, I get blood people in there. So they're Sierra Leoneans. I am not favoring one over the other. But who said the truth then now? Now, what they happen right now when they talk? Because the wrongs One wrong because somebody don't make wrong, you continue for tonagi. That is why we dey like how we dey so. Every time we come with a set, we say backwards. Nobody condones violence. I am not a violent person. No. But there are sometimes we get to understand, say, sometimes if we don't stop the things we do to one another, it will result to violence. And we get to acknowledge that. If we don't acknowledge that and start pointing the finger and start pointing the blame, we go just go merry-go-round. In the Bintumani 3, when President Biokam, we condemn the APC for not attending. We say even though they say they're not called them the right, we say that we still go for the sake of peace and for the sake of country. We did that here on this platform. We did that. They have cartooned me naked, say they support Mother Bio. I don't even know Mother Bio. But then say we try for peace, no, not go down the road because things that we don't begin to go. We call on President Bio, speak out, stop this, address your nation. He never did. Because you get people that would listen and yes. They talk and yes. People that want to mean well. When they get their grievances and their own, and I can always compare to the baby Bush, the second President Bush, the son Bush. Because in Papa, in respect in Papa and people them, the Chinese and the Romanies, but they had an hidden agenda and unfinished business. The baby bring their car inside, thinking they were meaning well. We stood in 20-year war. You know how many of us were damaged? How many people are not come home to their family? How many people of us have unseen scars for the rest of our lives? You know how many? You know how many lay in water? You know how many are disabled and all that stuff? Because human beings, if we continue like this, we will keep getting atrocities in our lives. That's all I'm saying. Another back nobody. Now the two are they talking. I mean, one get for die go to me God. And I fear God so much. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not claiming to be holy. I'm not claiming to be the righteous one. Because I get me weakness, I get me fault. But God is my witness. And they speak our seer. And I will not make it nice. If I see somebody the wrong say, I get the way I go tell them, for let not feel belittled, let able for uplifting himself for correcting mistake. When I was a troubled teenager, I was a troubled child, guess what? I cuss all man and not care self. Me word that they take our wound people. I cut you throat with words. And they damage people with words. But because I was healed inside, that's why I keep telling people you gotta heal from within. Because I'm healed inside. I know who I am. I'm grounded. And no words are weapon. I cannot use word to damage people. Before that, my word builds, my word heals. That's what I do. And that is my purpose in life. And the way where I say, when you come into this world, you live in a better place for the next person when they come behind you. You're not going to damage the world. Heal the world. Make it a better place for you and me. That's what Michael Jackson said. Go to a caller, the Mr. Shilo.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Fadima. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where side you call from? Hello, caller.
Yes, good evening.
Caller. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Ms. Fadima and Mr. Shilon. This is Nabendo from Kansas City.
Thanks.
I tell you, thank you for
a long time like that.
I know.
That's a long time, Madam Bendu.
You have to take a break, Ms. Fadima, or else you run you sitting at the ground.
But, yes, I know that, my dear. Thank you.
This demonstration, I don't get everybody talking. But as far as I'm concerned, SLPP and APC don't always get that pulling down syndrome. Where one person in a power, this person type of pulling down. Where the next person in a power, this person they try for pulling down. The two parties then they act like for saying water and oil when not the mix. And me feel say if we rule in party where they now na power, even they do anything, that man they were in a Holland, I'm not going to call his name, it not be forget any relevancy in the scheme of things. But now, we don't get less than a year for election for camp. Now, would I way they ask waiting at the status of the GDP? Would I way they ask the women and child mortality rate, the drinking water issue, the electricity issue, the social amenities them, the welfare of the people them. All what me want for say for conclude, all what me don't say here is where two elephants in the face, the grass now they suffer. We the poor people and we they now we they suffer. So no be anything but that. No, we find ways them and means them how them two parties then they go come together because one party in that country they not able to fix the problem within that country today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Elu. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
Next
you.
caller, please.
I think let's take one more call as we approach the deadline. So, hello, caller. What's your name? Where you call from? All right. Okay. Well, the control room say we'll get closed for finished the program, so we could just do with closing. So usually I can talk before Ms. Fadima talk. So let me just do my quick closing. And the closing basically, what me get for say is, let we all live with minds open, make enough space for be as objective or as fair-minded. Let we not depend the APC and SLPP because I've always said, and when I know how I feel about them two political parties they are not good for the country. I don't care who I offend. These are parties, 60 years, how when are we going to learn? 60 years of these parties, then two parties in our life, they all show say we need a change. So we need to begin to look hard and fast to an alternative. That's all I get to say. Let I turn over to Ms. Fadima.
Thank you again. Me people, thank you. We don't come to today. We don't come to the end of today. Today on broadcast because it is not good. It's not good for we the people. It is not good for we the people of Sierra Leone. I ask again, where were you in 1991 when the rebellion took over? Where were you in the years go by? Where were you? A lot of people, families were displaced. A lot of people were killed. People were amputated. Houses were burned, properties were lost, people lost their livelihood. You know, when I've been getting a whole bunch of baby picture them, and that was valuable to me. My home that I grew up in, my childhood home was burned, and you lost precious things in wars. You lost lives, you lost things, but those memorabilia and those things that you cherish that helps you hold on and reflect on the future, all gone because of a word, because of an action of one person or a group of people. We all for living in the world, then gets the survival of the fittest. The strong will survive and the weak will go. In the animal kingdom, they do that, but we're not animals. We have a United Nations where then puts together for end and bring treaty among the world, say we all serve accountable and we all serve and we respect we serve, where the big superpower not go take advantage of the small ones. We appoint people among us for try for make we all go then a one unity and for we grow together. That's what government is. Government was not there to abuse the people. Government is not there to do things to the people. And our governments, I will put an S, because this one included, have not done a lot of stuff for help for grow. And I can say again, Salone, we retrogress, go back. Because the standard when me grow up, the Sierra Leone when me grow up, the lifestyle when me grow up, I grew up like in America, I've been there, on England, we've been there, but Cooper, we've been there in the city, where we people there, some are businessmen, some are professionals, some are this, and that. We live a comfortable, peaceful life. But then we have governments that bring unrest, we have governments that do this to people and do that to people, and people will go uprise, and that's what brought war. So many people then, when we tone down the utterance, we government, when I take the advice of Solomon Jamiro, Because I said last week, because the government don't show care or concern, anybody in a life, you gravitate towards people where they show you say you care. I like you, Wawa. The person where they tell you say you're beautiful every day, now you they go to. And that is what Samuel Jamiru will display in a message and say in a message. They try for say we get for kind together. Right now I see a war of words between what's in this woman name now United Nation, Madam Amina Mohammed or something like that.
Mohammed, yeah.
And yes, and David Senge, Mohammed, United Nations. He and David Senge write about what they go on. And then the woman reply, families are facing difficult decisions to survive. Do I put food on the table or send my children to school? Or do I buy fuel? They say, we get for no say, the people as well. We cannot let the cost of living crisis win over humanity. That was her message she put out there. That's a message she put out there. The war of words. Because you fight by the pen too. Election they come. The people that we don't suffer, we don't bear. The term not left Boku again. From September 3rd to October 2nd or October 3rd, then they begin for register. You power, if you whatever they bother you, you get right for go vote, who shall you want for vote, and you voice, you get more power that time because we are a democratic country. Everybody get the right for go vote. You power, then you earn. And we, the women of Sierra Leone, we the begin campaign, women to the polls. Women to the polls, women go register, una comotly, una go register. Because now una they feel the problem more past all, now una totally in trouble. Married them, domestic violence, they high money, Usai hardship day. People then they left, marriage they broke, house they broke, picking and they suffer. And a woman in the building home. The man they provide, the woman they build, but the man not able to provide because times are hard. The woman they go hustle, they go fend, and they bring the table they change. So the term they come, September 3rd, una go register for votes. If una no say una don't suffer, they suffer boku, una go register, una voice June 25, 2023. They go hear una voice. Yes, now we write for protest. But then again, we not for do it with violence. Violence does not win. Violence does not do anything help. Now behind they put we. Inside America yourself, there was a protest over 20 years ago. We left for Macna, California. That area, then at the poor man area, which I them poor, where they come out for vote, say injustice for the jury where they make against Rodney King. Then burn all the area. Who say na day their livelihood, they then set all on fire. Not only which man they affect, not only one they in power affect, now una community una they affect. And what thing Rodney King can say after all the fighting, all the police shooting and killing and everything, because you got people that are gonna loot. You got people where they use the opportunity there as protests come for do their own agenda. Yes. But then in the end, Rodney King say, can we all just get along? We are all Sierra Leoneans. Can we respect one another? Can we be at least tolerant to one another? Let we grow the spirit of tolerance. Let we tolerate we serve. Let we tolerate we serve. The social media, I say again last week and I say again today, we know they talk nothing but development, developing Salone. All we they talk of how to kill we serve and mother we serve, and we can't wait for turn and give the next one. Now we turn. The other one they sit on a corner, wait till they come and they come and they come. Me on turn go reach. If we're not left, what will they do so? If we not condemn, what will they do so? If we not, I get one audio. I will make them put on a social media of Jackson Smith. Jackson Smith said, then on YouTube, if you not go look at 1967, way overthrow. He said the politicians then, all that they do, they don't care about the people, all that they do now for how they take money for put on their pockets. He said how all that they do, all they talk about is how the people, 30 days. Now the same thing, God no care, change no care, the same behavior. The same behavior of with people. And some of these people then grow, they know the suffering of the people, but yet they choose to forget it and let it go. They don't forget. See that same situation they be there. Then they eat. The crumb self on the table, the dog self not get them for it. Let God show you for we. Now we go now, we pray our closets them. However you call them, whether you call them Jehovah, whether you call them Allah, whether you call them, however you call them, the spiritual being, the one we say, let there be, and there was, the creator of life, the creator of peace. Oh my God. Can we call on him? Let we call on him for lay hand it over we and let it pour and let it bless in rain, because this is not going to born good begin. So dear my people there, let we pray. Let we pray. And let we see what's in the poll show, because these are the people their opinion. And the people their opinion, then say majority of the people today say 72% say Solomon Jamiru in audio was very helpful, while 28% of we say the video not helpful. Also, we make another poll, who that for blame? Now the government, now the opposition, now the people in the diaspora, and now both SPC and SLPP. Some people say 81% overwhelming say that the government get fault. Opposition, 6% say that the opposition. Diasporas, 9% say that the opposition, and then SLPP and APC only 5%. So we call on the government for listening to the cry of the people. We call on the government for unite the country. We call on the government and President Bio, I call on you that you are the leader of the nation. And if everything goes wrong, it falls on your head, because leadership to me is everything. If a company is going down, a leader then they fire. Any side, any institution, when they do well, a leadership that they look up to, that they change. If the team they do well, now the coach that they go to. So do you my president? Right now you the people then give. 2023, we don't know what in are the people and chose. But let we change the trajectory. Let we change. Let we try for bring peace. Let we try for unite. Let we try for heal. And let we try for make go forward. I pray for wisdom. Now we people they aid them, the one that way they lead, the one that way they. I pray for the wisdom of God, because only a fool will not desire wisdom. An arrogant man will not desire wisdom. But we pray for wisdom. We pray for peace. We pray for security in our country. When I pray, me people learn. When I pray, anyhow when I call them, any sound when I go, when I pray. But this I pray today, and I go left for now. And next week, by God's power, we will come back to my friend Yusuf Kamara and his wife Bintu, and to my friend Lydia in Sierra Leone. I pray for una. May God comfort una for una picking today, Sufyan. Sufyan, God will give, and He don't take. He don't give it, He don't take. We pray for mercy for all the mistake them. To the ones that have died, the one that way they mourn, the one that will die, and to every Sierra Leonean that perished, I pray for the Almighty God for have mercy on their soul. I also pray that the Almighty go heal the people and encourage them people. Till next week, I say Nafadima and good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.